Didn't go to art school, can't afford, or don't know where there are local figure drawing classes? Well, here's how you can come as close as possible to that without leaving your home. Better yet, here's why doing 2 and 5 minute poses, learning to gesture draw, is vitally important to your growth as an artist. So, I have been looking at a lot of younger and or less experienced artists' work lately because I've been looking for an artist to help launch my next intellectual property. And in seeing lots of other people's art, I have seen a couple of things become abundantly clear to me, and I wanted to start making a series of videos that would address those issues. But I also have been wanting to get back to this habit for a while now, and so it's sort of killing two birds with one stone. It's a good habit for myself, and I'm hoping other people will see this and understand what a good habit it is for them to get into themselves. A lot of self-taught artists, or even artists that went to art school and are no longer in art school, and therefore no longer go to figure drawing classes, or maybe never understood the real importance of figure drawing classes in art school. Or maybe the art school they went to, the teachers only had them do long poses and never really did short poses. So they never really learned the value of good gesture drawings. So I am going to try to explain the power of gesture drawings, why they're so important, and show you how you can get as close as possible to actually being in a figure drawing class doing 2 and 5 minute poses here at home. So there's really two main topics of discussion. First one is that lines are your choice for how to problem solve, or how to solve problems. Interpreting three dimensions into two. And two, that you need to think of the body as one fluid form. And that's the entire basis for gesture drawing. And those two go together because the choices you make when drawing, whether it's from looking at a model or from your head when drawing comics, which, by the way, you shouldn't be drawing all your comics from your head. Looking at reference is not a sin. Maybe relying 100% on reference is a sin. You should definitely be able to still work without reference, but and you should not have to trace reference, but reference is your friend. Reference has always been and will always be the illustrator's friend. Anyway, your line choices should play into the idea that the body is one fluid form. When I see so many of these different artists work, I see pieces and parts put together. I see arm muscles and leg muscles and chest muscles, and their figure work looks like a bunch of pieces and parts stuck together. It doesn't feel like there's any sense of fluidity to the form. It doesn't feel like that the pieces are attached to a skeleton that moves. There's no stretch. There's no squash and stretch. There's, you know, there's a lot of things that animators learn that comic book artists don't learn that I really think should be fundamental to what comic book artists learn. If you were to get the Animator's Toolkit, which is a fantastic book, it talks us a lot about squash and stretch. It talks about, you know, for instance, let's see here. So if you have a ball and the ball hits the surface, that ball, before it bounces, it compresses. The air inside of it compresses. The soft shape of the ball compresses. And then when it bounces up off the ground, it stretches. It doesn't always just stay a circle. Squash and stretch. Animators often learn when animating that you should be able to animate a bag of flour. You know, there's a bag of flour is not just a rectangle. It's got you know, it's full of flour, right? So it's got form. It's full of stuff. So you should be able to tell a story with nothing but that bag of flour. It should be able to feel like it's, you know, jumping for joy or leaning over in sadness. You should be able to emote and act thoroughly with this bag of flour. You know, you should be able to make that bag of flour feel like, see, even I don't have this right. You should be able to make that bag of flour feel like it's, well, it should be like this. All right, get back to my drawing tool. You should make the bag of flour be able to feel like it's, you know, running for its... come on. You should make that bag of flour be able to feel like it's, you know, running for its life or whatever you need it to do. This would obviously take a little more practice. I'm you know, working on the cuff here, but, you know, you should be able to get... twist of the torso and like this, he's not really running because his weight is over his legs really here, which is when he's running, it should really feel, you know, his legs should be stretching out and that one should be pushed back, but his weight should be off center, so really should be stretching. So his weight should definitely be off center. You know, and that leg should be pushed, pulled forward and whatever. So you get the idea. You really feel the stretch more now. But you should be able to emote, maybe not with a face, but you should be able to do everything, acting and action wise, with a bag of flour that you can do with a figure, and that's all with stretching and squashing and stretching and pulling and twisting and doing everything with this bag of flour that you would do with a human figure. And it's all through the power of gesture drawing. It's all through understanding what you can do with this simple shape and this simple form. So I wanted to take a few minutes before I really get into gesture drawing itself and show you some of the best artists in the history of comics and